What's going on? Tony from LearnAutoBodyAndPaint.com with another live stream. How many of you guys are painting in a spray booth? Let's get on to the topic of painting, of just painting in general, all right? A lot of people have fear that they need a spray booth, right? They need to have a special spray booth and they need to bake the paint to get awesome paint jobs. Right? How many of you guys believe that, right? Or have heard that before, and maybe you have the false belief that that's true? Is it, I mean, am I on the same page with you guys here? Have you guys came across people saying, well, you have to bake your paint, or you have to be in a totally dust-free environment with a spray booth, with suctions and this and that, right? Okay, you don't believe it. Great, great. Well, you know, it doesn't have to be like that. We could be like Bulldog here. You could do homemade styled, put plastic up, have some ventilation, filters, no filters, whatever, and you can get amazing paint jobs just like that. Okay? I mean, back in the 70s and early 80s, probably in the 60s too, people used to paint their cars, DIY stuff, right? Us Americans and Australians, we are truly DIY people, right? When you go to Japan, believe it or not, all of this stuff that we do here is like, it's like they're blown away. They don't do this stuff when you go to Japan, mostly Japan. I travel to Japan a lot. My wife is Japanese, but they don't do any DIY. Like, you know, if you go to Japan, nobody's fixing up their car in the garage. Everything is like done by the books. They have this style of mentality, and you know, if something's wrong with the car, they got to take it to the mechanic. Everything's done by the book. You know, nobody like in Japan has their own home air compressor at their house, or like it's very, very rare, is what I'm saying. It's pretty crazy. But you talk to us, you know, the Americans, the Canadians, the Australians, we are more of a DIY person. We're like, shit, you know, if I could save some money and do it myself, you know, we want to do things ourselves. We want to have that skill set, and that's amazing, right? That's awesome. I just wanted to get that out there and teach you about that. So, listen, when it comes down to the bare grits of things, you don't need to have crazy setup to get amazing professional finishes on your car. All right, you don't need to be spraying in a spray booth. Okay, like I said, sometimes people spray outside in the yard, right, with bugs flying around and everything. Not a big deal, right? And if there's a bug lands in it, you just sand it out, repaint that area, and maybe buff it out, and you're good, right? Old school if you're doing enamel paint jobs. But nowadays it's so much easier to base coat, clear coat. If you make a mistake, it's easy, especially with the base coat. You make a mistake, you just sand it out, wait 30 minutes, and you just dust it, and you're good, right? Clear coat, if you get a little bit of dust in it, as long as you have enough clear on it, you could just sand it out after you're done, after it cures and dries, and buff it out, right? Not too bad, not too bad. So I paint in my shop here, right? Let me show you my shop. Okay, it's not crazy, right? I got a little shop here, and we bang out amazing paint jobs here. Amazing, like professional show shine finishes. I did this Miata here, right? We're gonna be doing that one here in the next couple of months. Hopefully before next year, if not early in next year, we're gonna be doing a complete paint job on this BMW. After fixing up our front bumper cover, the rear, the hood has to be done, and stuff like that. So the main thing is, if you're painting in your own home garage, right, basically make sure you sweep out your shop, okay? Sweep out the floors. You could even come in, get a hose, and hose down your floors. Wet your floors down before you start painting, right? This keeps the dust down. And if it's hot out, yeah, it'll dry up, right? It's gonna evaporate very quickly, but it's okay. Hose your shop out just to get most of the dust down and out, right? And you put your car in the middle of your shop, and you cover up some of your toolboxes if you don't want to overspray. But with overspray, you want to get particular and cover up your tools and your walls and stuff if you're doing a single stage paint job. Okay, single stage is basically acrylic enamel, synthetic enamel paints where it's a one stage. Okay, single stage, right? Where it's just color. It's like women's nail polish, right? It's just a one color. It dries shiny, and that's it, right? You're done. It's a single stage, and you put 2 to 3 heavy coats of that paint on, and you're done. And let me warn you, that stuff is thick, okay? And it gets everywhere. Like, if you go in with black shoes and you're painting a white car, you're gonna walk out with white shoes. That's how much overspray single stage will do, and it's sticky. You're walking around the floor and you'll hear the stickiness of the paint just all over the place. That's when you're painting single stage. That's how it is. Okay, everything, your filters clog up. It's just ridiculous. Okay, I don't do a lot of single stage now, but Base Coat Clear Coat is a 2-stage, and you get very, very little overspray. You're not going to get too much color all over the walls, color all over you. It's very, very minimal, all right? And as long as you have good ventilation, it just goes out, no problem, okay? So that's the difference with the two types of paint. What do I recommend, 1K or 2K? Well, it depends on what kind of job you're doing, all right? If you're doing a quick job where you just want to get it in and out and you're on a budget, single stage paints are great, okay? If you're doing more of a custom job and you want to play around with the paint a little bit more, Base Coat Clear Coat gives you that ability, because you could put in your clear coat time, you could put flake in it, right? You could put pearl in it. I don't know if you guys see any of the micro sequence flake in here, but there is micro sequence flake in this panel here. I don't know if you see it. But you could just do more with Base Coat Clear Coat. That's the thing. That's the thing with Base Coat Clear Coat. So, and Base Coat Clear Coat is more custom jobs. So you could do pearls and flakes and this and that. Like here, you can see I did, this is all Base Coat Clear Coat, right? I did a yellow, I did the blend job here, purple, did the flames. I actually pinstriped it, and then I clear coated over everything, right? So that's what you could do. And the way it's dried now, I could actually sand this down with 1500 and clear it again to get a better gloss if I wanted to do that. Okay, so you have a lot more playroom with Base Coat Clear Coat. It's more of a professional style of paint. It will last longer, it's more durable, okay? Can you correct imperfections on single stage paint like nibs and peel? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, you could do that. You just have to sand it out with like a 1500 grit, get out the nibbles, and then buff it out as you would Base Coat Clear Coat, right? You buff it out with the wool pad. You're gonna get the paint transfer on the wool pad because it's a single stage, right? That's normal. But you're gonna be able to buff it out with the foam pad as well and get that brilliant shine back. So yes, you could do that. They say to be careful a little bit when it comes down to heavy metallic single stage paint, because they say as you're buffing, you could cloud up the metallic in there. You know, that's what I've heard, but I've never personally experienced that problem. Okay, I've buffed out metallic paint, single stage, you know, color sanded and buffed it out with no issues at all. Okay, so it's just a little warning, but doesn't have to be a warning. Okay, is automotive paint repair a good enough career to provide for your family and make a life for yourself? Yes, it can be, Brian, but you got to be smart. Okay, you got to be the one getting all the business, and you got to have workers for you. You don't want to be the one day to day doing all the body work, getting dusty, being around all that stuff. You don't want to be that. That's my opinion. You want to be the guy. Of course, you have to work. You know, if you're starting your own shop, you have to do it at first. But eventually, what you want to do is, you know, you hire a body guy. You have your body guy do all the grunt work. You have a masker, or hopefully your body guy is all in one. Hopefully he could do everything. It's hard to find people like that. I mean, in the body business, there are prep guys, painters, and your body guys, and your finishing guys. I know I went all over the place, but you got your panel beater, body work guys, you got your prepping guys, you got your painters specifically. There's people who just paint. That's what I used to do, is they used to hire me just to go in. The car would be prepped in the spray booth waiting for me. I'd just go in and paint. I was 17 years old at the time. Getting paid $150 per paint job. I used to do 2 or 3 a day. Go in for an hour and a half to 2 hours, finish a car, go to the next body shop, boom, boom, boom. And then you got your finishers. And you know, at small shops, one guy would do everything. Bigger shops, you'd have, you know, that's how it works. All right, so I'll see you guys on here next week, Thursday, all right? I promise I will be here. Every Thursday is my commitment to you. I will be here from 8 to 9 o'clock p.m. Central. So 9 to 10 p.m. in that area Eastern, okay? So I will be in touch. Thank you guys. Have a great night. Cheers.